been in film festivals across the country, and maybe we'll see a couple more with Peter. So, without further ado, Tim O'Donnell. And then we also have Peter Nhiany. As I said, he's taken basically everything you can take at Granite State College. He's also been named to the Union Leaders 40 Under 40. He earned the President's Leadership Award from Campus Compact a few years ago for his community work and community engagement. And he just continues to do amazing stuff, and we're so proud of him. And obviously, I'm going to kick it off with the first question, hoping this will break the ice. Peter, when you went back to Africa, did you miss the snow?
Yes, I did. Like you have seen in the first part of the video, when I first got here, I had no idea what snow was. But that first time in Utica, New York, and moving to New England, New Hampshire, I think snow became part of something that I love. I have a lot of problems in the summer, so during the winter time is the time that I feel a lot more comfortable. Yes, I do love snow. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, I don't need that. I really don't need this. Peter, I just want to know, when do you sleep?
That's a great question.
Yes, I do sleep. I do try to make sure I get some sleep so I will be able to do all that I do. I work 3 jobs. I am a home care provider, and I work at Sununi Detention Center. I have a wonderful co-workers here. My director, he's here as well, and some of the nurses. Mary, I do get sleep because sleep you need for yourself. If you don't get enough, at least 6-7 hours I do sleep. I know it sounds very complicated. How do you sleep when you work 3 jobs? Like I say in the video, if I have to work 5 jobs, I will, and I will try to make sure that I get some sleep.
I have lots of questions. First of all, I'd like to know how it felt for you to see this film for the first time, Peter, and I'd also like to know what other places, is this the premiere of showing? Is this the first time it's been shown? And is it available to show to other groups like church groups or nonprofit groups?
I'll answer that one quick. So I'm going to definitely get to that question, but I just got to thank Peter. You know, he's a busy guy, and he was nice enough to invite me and some cameras into his life. And through the last 2 years of making this film, we became very close, and I consider Peter a really good friend, and I really look up to him. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and thanks for trusting me too. That's a lot of trust, you know. But yeah, so this is the premiere screening. We wanted to make sure we had it right here in New Hampshire, Peter's home, and but yes, there's going to be lots of opportunities. I can't really announce the festival we got into, but we got into a really major festival in New York City that's going to be coming up in a couple months. We have some information on Facebook. There's also business cards and a sign-up sheet in the back that you can, get all the information on this film and where it will be screened, because there'll be lots of screenings coming up in the next year. We're doing private screenings as well, so we can definitely chat or you can send an email. And there's also the option to buy this as a pre-sale. All the profits are going to go towards Peter's soccer team in South Sudan. We really want to give back to this cause that he's been giving to for quite some time now. So hopefully it's mutually beneficial. You get to own the film and also help out. So yeah, I'll pass it off to Peter, because I'm wondering too, like, seeing your life on screen with a bunch of friends and some strangers maybe too, for the first time ever, it must be an experience. So Peter, how'd it feel, man?
It's great. I think you asked, how does it feel going back home for the first time? Was that part of your...
Yeah.
Well, a part of it, but also how did it feel seeing this on the screen, not having seen it before?
It always feels great when I go back home. Like I say, when I go back to Africa, I have to go to South Sudan and I have to go to my village. When I first came to this country, I told several of my friends, guys, if I go back to to South Sudan for the first time, I will not stop going back. And some people were like, why? I love going back. You see those, the boat, I have to go there. I have a big family. My family is scattered everywhere. And I'm the only person who is in the United States. And I don't have time to see them. I'm here working, going to school. And if I get an opportunity to go back home, it feels great. It brings me back to all the, it give me the connection with the people again. Did that answer your question?
Do any of them want to come here? Peter, do any of them want to come here?
Of course. I get emails, I get Facebook messages for young men who want to come to the United States. And I'm like, guys, coming here is not an easy path. It takes a lot to get here, and you have to have a legitimate reason to leave your country. So when I came to the United States of America, I did not choose to. I came here because there was a situation, and that's how I got here. So if you have a legitimate reason, are you being threatened, are you unsafe, or anything that will get you here, because U.S. is not an easy place to come to. But once you get here legally, you will love it. Yeah, people want to come here. My family, my brother is older, he doesn't want to come. My dad is old, he doesn't want to come. And my sisters also are married, they really do not want to come. But their kids want to come here.
What about your wife?
I know it. It's a question a lot of people ask me, why do you keep your family back home? And I have a lot of reasons for keeping my family home. Yeah, I love my family more than anything, and just as many of you love their families, my two daughters and my wife, they are extension of me. When they are there, my parents see them, my brothers see them, the community see them. I have a huge connection with the community back home, and when they see my kids, they come and visit. When they see them in church, they feel like I am there, and the same thing to me. I feel like I'm home. They are extension of me, and when they are there, I am there too.
Are they safe?
Very safe. They live in Uganda, which is very safe compared to South Sudan, and I will not let them live in South Sudan at this particular time.
How do you communicate with them?
I call them up. We try to have a Skype connection so we can talk over the Skype, which is very hard because network is not that reliable in many part of Africa. And I tried several times, even they have a computer to use, we can't get through Skype because of the network. So I call them at least 4 or 5 times a week. I talk to them on the phone.
What time is it over there right now?
And what time is it here right now?
6:30.
6:30. It is 1:30 in the morning.
Are they proud of you? Not just because of what you've accomplished, but because of this?
None of them know about this. They don't know that there was a film being made on me, and when I shared that little link that you sent me, people saw it. Wow, we want to see it. I'm like, wait, I haven't seen it yet, so let me see it first, and then I'll let you know when it comes out.
I have a question for Tim. Tim, was this the first time that you had been to Africa? And if so, what were your impressions of it, and how did it influence how you made your film?
Well, that is a huge compliment to this man here, because he actually filmed all the Africa footage. So he's got 4 jobs then. Cinematographer is the 4th.
Well, you did an excellent job.
He did, didn't he? So it was so cool. I mean, there was a conversation at one point where, should I go? And I really wanted to go. But there's lots of logistics, and Peter's so humble in how he talks about this stuff. I mean, going home isn't like you hop on a flight and you just hop on there, you fall asleep. you get there, you get out of the plane, and maybe you take like a taxi 40 minutes, you know, maybe like some of us in Manchester or Boston. No. He had a couple layovers, he gets there, he had to stay overnight, then there was a bus, I believe, for 12 hours, and then there was a boat. It's a 24-hour process once he gets there after that. I mean, it's incredible, the journey. So there was lots of logistics that we weren't able to kind of completely flush out. So I trained him, I gave him a camera, and we had a little training session. He did a great job, obviously. Took it over, I told him, hey, can you film this, you know, these things? And he did way more. I mean, he captured, I mean, it's 17 minutes long. It could be 60, 90 minutes long. It was extremely difficult to make those choices, but we felt it was an appropriate time for this story. And I actually have 10 hours of footage from Peter, just from the Africa section, which is incredible. It's such a honor. I'm so lucky, you know. I wish I could share that 10 hours with you, but as you can, you know, see, you know, in filmmaking, we have to cut down and tell a story. But I got to enjoy that. I got to experience that, and lots of soccer footage, and you know, this beautiful music. There was plenty of various songs that I was able to capture. We selected a few, as you can tell. So yeah, I mean, in some ways, I did get to experience it, which was really fun. How was it to be a filmmaker? Because you're part of this. What was the experience of filming?
Actually, I thought about, changing my career.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we got an application somewhere. I could set you up.
Bring it on, Tim. I will.
In his spare time.
Yeah.
Yes, Jean? It's you, yes. Oh, sorry.
Peter, what are your hopes for your life at this point, and how have they changed over the years?
My hope is that I do something special to change someone's life. One person at a time. I am working 3 jobs. I build a nice looking house, maybe 10 bedrooms. But when I build a house like that, and I have 60 young men hanging out in the bar, drinking, smoking, and doing things that they're not supposed to be doing. When they're supposed to be doing productive things, and I'm living in a nice built house, for a person like me, that would not be something I would love to do. I would rather help people and give them, open doors for them to build their future, and that's what I'm doing. I have helped several young men to go to school. Right now, I have 2 or 3 gentlemen working. One of the gentlemen is working at Kenya Commercial Bank as a branch manager. I help him to complete his high school, and I send him to do like a 2 years diploma. After that, I told him, hey, you need to do computer trainings because South Sudan is going to be a new country. And if it is going to be a new country, there will be a lot of projects that will need computer literacy. And he said, no, uncle, you have done so much for me. It is your time. And I say, I know my time will come. Let me do this. And I send him to school. Now he's working as a branch manager. He's making $1,500 a month. He has sent his brothers in school. He's helping his family. That is what I want to do. I want to do more of that. Right now, I sponsor 10 students. You can tell I'm making a lot of money, right? Because I work 3 jobs. So, yeah, I'm doing that, and I have a soccer team. That's what I need to do. If I can do more of that, I think that is my hope, and that's what I will continue to do. Just make people happy in the community and give them hope for themselves.
All right, 2 more questions.
Down to you in front, I saw you.
Question for Peter. Have you been able to see your family in a time since this film has been made?
I returned from my trip on June 2nd, and I haven't seen them. When I took vacation from work, I don't know how to tell you this, but it was something I was so proud of, to be given 3 months and get paid, come back and resume and go back to work. And I thank my employer at the Youth Student Center for allowing me to do that. It was something great, and that's why an organization which is based on family values is so great to do that. So I haven't been back yet, but I'm planning to go back home sometime next year, because we are expecting twins. I will try to go before they are born, but if situation will not allow me to do that, it is okay. I can go maybe a month, 2 months later, and I'm sure it will happen. It will. I love what I do, and I try not to be away from my job for a long time. But family first. Did that answer any of your
Yes,
questions?
it did.
All right.
How did the film actually come into being? Who funded it? Is it the college?
So it's funny. So we did a commercial shoot a couple years ago, and we had 5 different subjects, and Peter was one of them. So that's how I met Peter. We're doing this 30-second commercial spot for Granite State College, and it was it was a success, and it was on TV and local and national to promote the college. But concluding that, I felt sort of unsuccessful in some ways, even though people were really happy with it. 30 seconds just wasn't enough time to obviously fit Peter's story, and even 17 doesn't even do it justice. But I felt like, man, there's a lot more here. So over the course of 2 years, I stayed in touch with Peter, and slowly we got some private funding and a lot of support from Granite State College to help make this happen. And obviously they orchestrated the screening, which was amazing of them. They've been just incredible to work with. But it's funny, the initial premise of this film was Peter graduating with his graduate degree and his family moving over to the U.S. At some point that was sort of in the works. But a bunch of things happened, and I mean, with 3 jobs, it's you could imagine the balance that Peter has, and he wasn't able to finish that course. So luckily, Granite State College kind of left that open for him and said, hey, whenever you can come back and finish this one course, we'll be here waiting. So Peter kind of stepped away from the school, and then there was a lot of things that happened in Sudan. In South Sudan over the course of that time we were filming. There was a lot of violent upbringing, and unfortunately some war happened, and that long history was still there, still evident. So the family moved, and he was working to get the family over, and it didn't materialize. So I'm kind of going along with Peter on this journey, and the film changed quite a bit, and we ended up sticking it out another 8 or 9 months. And when we found out he was going to be going back home, we thought, okay, here's our opportunity to kind of tell this story and encapsulate it. So yeah, we had a lot of support and a lot of trust in the ability to make this, even though it's 17 minutes, right? But as you can tell, the story allowed it, and it really needed to last those 2 years in order for this to come together.
Okay, we have one question out back. Afterwards, we invite you all to a reception. Afterwards, and I'm sure Peter will be able to answer your questions one-on-one too. Before we hear this last question, I also wanted to remind you that you can get the business card up here as you exit. There's also a donation area for the Superstar Football Club that I encourage you to donate to. And we have one more question from a good friend, I hear.
Hey Peter, firstly Tim, just an exceptional film about a selfless, talented, brilliant person, so huge credit to you. Peter, superstars, hopefully they can see the bit of this footage of this, some good African soccer, and I've got a soccer question for you. If one of your twins is a son, what are the chances of you naming your son after a Manchester United player? No, how much it means to you?
Don't commit.
Andy, first of all, thank you for coming. Andy and I have been friends. Are we friends? Okay, we have been friends with Andy for about 4 or 5 years, right? I have done presentation at Mountain View middle school in Goffstown. And going there gave me a lot, and I just love it. I haven't done it for 2 years, and that is eating me away on the inside, because the reception and the reaction that I receive from the kids over there is amazing. As to your question, you know what, this is too early for me. And I have a huge dream. I want to promote these young men. If they become like a Manchester United, that would be great, and I'm sure they will, because I have the drive, I'm committed, I'm very passionate about, and I'm sure maybe I can rename the team with something similar to that. And by the way, did you see that the scene where I was walking on a big field of snow?
Yeah.
That is in your town.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and tell them what happened to your car.
Well, Tim asked me to park my car right on the street.
Oh, I see. Okay, I asked you to.
Yeah. Okay, let me rephrase that. I wanted to park my car on the side of the street so Tim can have me walk in the middle of the road so he can film me. Unfortunately, my car got stuck in the snow. We tried to get it out for half an hour. We were supposed to come to Granite State College to do some film, but we got here late. So that's very special, and I think it would have a connection with you.
Why didn't we call him to help us get pulled out? Why didn't we do that?
Yeah, unfortunately, we were not thinking right there. Maybe some part of our brain were frozen because we were in snow.
All right.
Can I answer just?
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Peter, I think you're such a humble, gracious, kind, and giving man. And the short amount of time that I've worked with you and gotten to know you, I see you every day with a huge smile on your face. And I've listened to some of your stories. I feel like there needs to be a prequel to this, at the very least, to maybe part 2, part 3. But I just wanted to say how blessed I am to feel like a part of your family, and also to just say how, I don't know, I just feel like you've been touched by a higher power for sure. And I congratulate you and wish you the best with all your endeavors from here on.
Thank you, Juju. Really appreciate it. That's